Welcome in, everybody, to Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm your host, Mike Mercado, and I want to thank you for making us a part of your day. We have a very jam-packed show for you guys. On our show today, our very special guest, she is the leader of the probiotic industry in our country. She's the reason why you could get probiotics at your local supplement store. She is Natasha Treniv, and she is going to join us in just a little bit. She's going to give us some great information about how we can fix our digestive system this holiday season. Christmas is coming around, Thanksgiving, Halloween, so we want to make sure that we are all taken care of, that we can enjoy our holiday season, enjoy all the barbecue food as we're watching our Bears and Cubs make a run right now. You can follow me everywhere in the universe, guys. I'm on Twitter at mmercado2333. I like the show on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. And if you missed any show in the past, just go to YouTube/MikeMercado2333 and you can watch all of them right on there. Coming up next, Natasha Treniv joins us on Outreach Radio Chicago. Thank you for keeping it tuned into Outreach Radio Chicago with Mike Mercado. Please follow us everywhere in the universe. We're on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like our page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. And if you've missed any show, go on YouTube/Mike Mercado2333. We've got some great stuff. We even have movie reviews now, guys. Outreach Radio Chicago is expanding because of you and because of guests that we have on next. World renowned. We're getting guests like this because listeners demand that we get the best in their field. And right now, the Cubs are in the playoffs. We have Halloween coming up. We have Thanksgiving. We have Christmas, which means we're going to be eating a lot of food, a lot of junk food. You know how we do it over here in Chicago. So coming up here on Outreach Radio Chicago, we are so happy to bring on just the well-renowned, world-famous Natasha Treniv. Natasha, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I love the energy. I love the environment. Great.
Oh, you know what? It's such a great time right now. Just in general, the holidays are coming around. You know, of course, here in Chicago, like you heard in my little the hype of the Cubs playing the Cardinals. So you know, with all that going around, it's funny to me because everybody is so health conscious nowadays, right? And back in my teenage years, when I used to work at a supplement store, probiotics was always such a almost like an ignored thing. And I look at all the information that you put on YouTube, which, by the way, guys, if you're not doing it, go on YouTube and look up Natasha. She has some of the most interesting things on YouTube. Natasha, can you just give us a little bit about how you got into all this and a little bit about yourself?
Well, great. Yes. I'm a naturalized citizen. My family came here from the former Yugoslavia in the 1950s. And my father was the official court supplier to the King of Yugoslavia.
Oh, wow.
On yogurt and liquid acidophilus, which goes down for almost 750 years in our familial line. And this is all we did. This is what we were experts at. And my father brought this expertise to the United States, and we were the first to introduce a natural-style Bulgarian yogurt in the mid-1960s to America, and we actually helped set standards across the country so that this wonderful yogurt could be sold. So I was part of the family growth and part of the family heritage, and I helped to set the standards for yogurt in California and the kefir standard in New York, and I realized how important these products were to our digestive health. And believe it or not, thousands of articles have proven me right, that I had the right thinking, I should say, because we now know that these bugs that live inside of our GI tract control everything from how we feel, how we function, whether we have energy or not, and whether or not we can think clearly.
So your family has been in this forever, and I think what's great about what you could do when you actually look yourself up is how willing you are to continue to. Let's say you thought one way about the probiotics and what it could do. I've also seen that you grow with the information that you're giving, right? Like, you're getting new information about this every single day.
Oh, there's so much information coming out that I can't keep up with it. I mean, it's really 4 or 5 things hit my email every day, and it's not like just light reading. It's really a complex science, and it's what I call rocket science. It is complex, and really we could revolutionize the way people feel and function around the globe if we learn more about our digestive process.
Now, why is it that it almost feels this kind of subject gets ignored a lot? Okay, I know we're now, because we're getting information about it more, we're definitely heading in the right direction, but this is something that affects people from birth till they're 100 years old, right? Like, if you're not eating the right food, if you're not taking the right stuff, it doesn't matter what's going on. And this actually affects your health long term as well, right? If you're not taking care of your digestive system.
Well, right. Yes, exactly. Our digestive system is the gateway to everything in our body. If you think out, that's like a gate that allows nutrients, but it can also allow poison into our system, or it could, feed us or fuel us. And our immune system gets aggravated if the wrong things come across the intestinal wall, and that's when it starts overreacting, and that's when you start feeling lousy. And let's say, the Cubs are going to win. You don't want to feel lousy when you're enjoying your win.
Yeah, it's been too long, so we definitely don't want to be ruining that moment.
Right.
Now, what about when you're watching a game, though? For example, like, today, I know we're all guilty of it, especially in this country. Today, I'm going to go home, I'm going to barbecue something, and be in front of the television watching the game. Is that as bad as I don't know, like being in front of a computer or cell phone or something like that?
Well, it is. I mean, you should be eating and paying attention to your food. I mean, there's been a lot of studies that, chewing your food, for instance, and not just, putting it in your mouth, taking 1 or 2 chews and then swallowing it, because that big mass just hits your stomach, and your stomach is now thrown into action trying to digest it. So if you've had this feeling of heaviness or fullness every time you eat, it means that you're not chewing your food and you don't have the proper beneficial bacteria or probiotics to help you digest. Because let's put it this way, the bacteria are everything. Your body is 90% bacteria and only 10% human cells.
Wow.
So if you don't have the right team, let's put it this way, if you don't have the right team on your side when you're digesting your food, you're not going to feel great, and you're not going to be able to think clearly. You're not going to be able to function. Your immune system is not going to be functioning accurately for you. And bottom line, you're not going to be enjoying your life.
Now, with the winter months coming up, how important is that? And this is not just going for anybody in a certain age group. I mean, how important is it that you were saying good bacteria? Because people hear the word bacteria and right away they get scared. Again, that's a buzzword that people don't like hearing. But it's important, right? Like you're gonna get the flu or cold, right? Like not having the good stuff in your body, the good bacteria, that's gonna leave you more susceptible to something like that.
Oh, absolutely. The bacteria, we have everything inside of us, from the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's a constant, competition to see who's going to dominate. And these bacteria actually talk with the immune cells that are in your intestinal tract, and about 70 to 80% of your entire immunity is located in your GI tract, which is about 27 feet long. So if you're dumping bad food and you're not digesting properly, those immune cells will get irritated, and they're not going to be able to do their job to defend you from the cold and the flu season. It's a very simple process, but people are ignorant of it, and I think if more people just took the time to understand this, they would be able to enjoy their life much more and enjoy greater health.
How easy is it for anybody to get these things? Like, I know, for working at, let's say the Vitamin Worlds or the GNCs and everything like that, you see where the probiotics are, and then when you watch certain commercials about the yogurt, but how accessible are these things for the consumer?
Well, first of all, I have to backpedal here a little bit and tell you that I am also the author of a probiotic labeling standard for health food industry that was read into a congressional record in the mid-1990s. And unfortunately for the consumer, nobody's really paying attention to this record. And virtually 99% of the people selling probiotic products are not the people who actually research, formulate, and make the product. And since I told you this is rocket science and probably the most important thing you can be educated upon, you really need to make the right choice. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting the most benefit for the money you spend on the probiotic product.
Are we still on that day and age, though, where the people who are selling these products, and that's kind of scary in today's day and age, where the people who aren't even studying and trying to progress in this field are selling us it, and we're putting it in our bodies. Is this still going on?
I'm not implying that you can get sick from.
Yeah, right.
The problem is that in order for these probiotic bacteria to have a significant impact on your digestion, immunity, and your second brain, which was, by the way, found in your gut, and it affects imminently what you think in your first brain. You're not going to get the benefit you pay for money. So you may be getting something cheaper, but it's not going to have the desired effect. And unfortunately, the way most people think, that if they don't get the desired effect, they think the whole category doesn't work, which is a tragedy, because I'm working with some of the best people in the best institutions in this country, and they realize how important this is. In fact, they're opening up whole new channels of how they want to view their patients and how they want to teach them pro-health concepts rather than just treating their disease.
You're working with some of the brightest people in the field, and it almost seems like you guys are in the minority of everything still.
Yes, because
that'll throw me off.
I do these shows because I feel that this is so important that everybody should know about how to choose the right probiotic, like they understand their baseball game or they understand their smartphone, because if they invest time in this, they're going to have the energy and they're going to be feeling good so that they can enjoy these things that they want to do.
But why is it that you're taking the time? It's not every day that the founder of anything. I mean, you're kind of the head honcho of this field, and they're not progressively behind you. Is this something though where there's just too much money in one way?
Yeah, there is too much money, and since these are not drugs, they're dietary supplements. There's a lot of leverage for people to, in my opinion, not do the right thing. And the only way that they will be forced to do the right thing is if your listeners and other people across the country are armed with information how to choose these products. Because believe it or not, many people agree with me now, this is the foundation of your health for the 21st century. If we can influence people to take the right probiotic, to change their diet, and to do some exercise, we will impact this nation's health, where we will have a lot of money left over to do wonderful things in health research. I'm sorry if I'm in last words. It's just when somebody who leads their field is trying to lead you in the right direction, and you can't get behind it, and it's scary too, because so many people go uneducated. They don't do the research, and it's right in front of them. Yes, well, that's why hopefully, there are people like us. I mean, with anything in life, people have to be introduced to it, develop a passion for it, and understand that your stomach is not a dumping ground. Your GI tract is so important to your health. It's really where all health issues are resolved. It starts right with your digestive tract, because it's your fuel line. I mean, if you have a lot of fellas listening to the show, I mean, just imagine clogging up your fuel line in your truck or your car. Your car is going to stop immediately. And what we do is we do this continually every day, and still it's miraculous how we function.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you right now, working in this, and we live in a day now and age where people are so health conscious, right? Everybody's going to the gym, everybody taking selfies and everything. And what are some of the benefits of this? Because I've always heard that if you take the right probiotic, if you make sure your digestive system is good, all the protein, all the different supplements on top of it, your vitamins are going to get absorbed into your body better, faster, right? Like this is or is that just kind of a false, ideal hope,
No, it's not a false. Listen, first of all, what the probiotics are designed to do, and if they're put in the right combination like I have done in my products, they really assist, function in the stomach, function in the small intestine where a lot of your absorption goes through, and in the large intestine, which are called your waste and disposal system. It's as simple as that. If you have the right bacteria to influence those, that ecosystem, throughout your 27 feet of GI tract, you're going to be fueling your body instead of just feeding your body, or maybe in some instances just dumping poison into your body. So that's our our function here is to understand how to improve that digestive process so that we can absorb the proteins, which are broken down into peptides and amino acids, and that's necessary to regenerate every cell in your body. Those components of the peptides and amino acids. And secondly, you're not going to be able to absorb your vitamins because if your digestive system is not breaking down the food into the right molecular size, it won't be absorbed. And if it's not absorbed, then it can't help your body. It's as simple as that. And that's why I'm trying to, bring this science down to what I call people speak so that people understand, hey, if things are not getting broken down into your stomach and you feel like a lead balloon hit your stomach after you dump all this food into it, guess what? That lead balloon is not going to get digested. All that undigested food is going to be dumped into your small and large intestine. And guess what? The bad bacteria are the ones who are going to feed on this, and then you're going to have gas and bloating, and you're going to either have constipation or watery stools. Those are all signals the body's sending to you that things are not okay, and the more you keep doing this, the less, good you're going to feel.
Natasha Trenev joins us here on Outreach Radio Chicago. She's the founder of America's Probiotic Industry, and you were just mentioning it right now. What are some clues to good and bad digestive systems, and if you're doing it right in your system, kind of, can you get ahead of it? I mean, what are some ways that people kind of can make sure that they have a good program going?
Well, right. Well, first of all, I tell people, eliminate the simple carbs. I think in today's day and age, people know what simple carbs are. Sugary things that you just pop into your mouth all the time and make you feel good momentarily, but then you have to fuel up on more sugar because it's like a self-defeating function. And believe it or not, the bacteria in your gut who like the sugar, and they're not the beneficial ones, actually can signal your body and make you crave more of the sugar that is harmful to you. So it's a double whammy. So eating those simple carbohydrates is just not something you should be doing. I also tell people, you know what, if you're doing something besides just focusing on the food and the sharing of the food with someone you love or your family, make sure you chew the food 10 times. Don't just pop it in your mouth, chew it once, and then try to swallow it. But if you chew every bite 10 times, your digestion really begins in your mouth. So you're helping your digestive system by doing that. And consume plenty of water and fiber. People forget that we're more than 70% water. So if you're not consuming water and you're not eating things like fruits and vegetables, you're not contributing fiber. And fiber helps to push the digested food down your digestive tract so it can be eliminated, and you should be eliminating at least once a day. If you're not eliminating once a day, you're, fouling up your fuel line, which is your digestive tract. And, the most important thing and what I've dedicated my life to is make sure you establish and maintain the proper quantities and the types of beneficial bacteria or probiotics throughout your gut by taking the right supplement on a daily basis. because it's an ecosystem that is constantly thriving. People say, well, why do I have to take something every day? Because each time you eat, you're introducing different bacteria into your system. And that's how, we occasionally get sick, because the bacteria we introduce through our food and through the contact we come in on a daily basis disturbs that ecosystem. So we want to keep that ecosystem in our gut at an optimal level so that it can protect us, when it needs to protect us, and it can help us digest, and it can help us feel better. It can help us have more energy, think better. All of those things we can get if we just take the time to listen to our body.
Now, if listeners are, like me, are just so interested in all this and kind of just finding all this information out for the first time, they can actually go and call 800-536-4833 to speak to a probiotic consultant, or they can go to your website as well?
Yes, it's www.trynatron.com. And, I have a wonderful, probiotic wafer that you can chew before each meal, which will help you with your digestion. And then, our, flagship, which is called the Healthy Trinity, is something you can take on a daily basis to make sure those 100 trillion microbes that line your gut are in optimal balance. And believe me, this has been my, my purpose in life, to make sure that people understand how important this is and why this ecosystem is the ecosystem you should be the most interested in preserving, so that you can have an enjoyable life.
Natasha Trenev is joining us on Outreach Radio Chicago, giving us some awesome information. Natasha, we're going to only have you for a few more minutes, and you've been beyond fantastic, so informative. Before we let you go and we start plugging some stuff, can you give us maybe some tidbits, some last-minute advice, anything like that for these holiday seasons and Super Bowl and next year and all that? Like, what do you want to tell our listeners? Or when you talk about this being your life's work and you're so passionate about it, what is always the last kind of thing you want to leave people with?
Well, what I want to tell people that, anytime your doctor prescribes an antibiotic, you need to take a good probiotic to make sure that, you are eliminating the bad guys, but you also may be eliminating the good guys. So you want to make sure that ecosystem gets replenished. And, now coming during the holiday season, a lot of us are susceptible to colds and flus, and our doctors will prescribe medication. Just remember that medication also destroys the beneficial bacteria in your ecosystem. And I just tell people, take it easy, pace yourself. Remember, your body is not a dumping ground. When just make sure you chew the food, slow down, enjoy the food. Don't just wolf it down. Make sure that you take time to remember that the food was made enjoyable so that your body would be replenished. The food was not made enjoyable so that you can dump into your GI tract. And you say, well, why do I care? Yeah, well, you should care, because if your stomach feels like a ball of lead, you're not going to be enjoying the gifts,
no.
or the holidays, your friends or family. You're going to feel miserable. And that's my tip. Make sure you chew your food, take time to choose the proper food, and take your probiotic regimen on a daily basis, and you should have a wonderful and healthy holiday season.
Natasha, let's plug in some stuff, all right? Let's do this. 800-536-4833. They can talk to any experts if you have any questions. Your website is trynatron.com. That's trynatren.com. And you have always so many cool stuff. Like I said, go on YouTube. You have little clips, right, of 3, 4, 5 minutes of you explaining different nutrients people could try out, different ways to help with their digestive system as well, right? Do you have anything else kind of hanging out or coming?
We do have, segments of me on YouTube educating, and even our website, natron.com, will tell you. We have tons of research, posted there. It's absolutely incredible what we're learning about how these microbes affect our body and how smart they are. They're actually a lot smarter than we are. They're just single-celled brains, and they're incredible. And if we learn more about them, we can learn to have a harmonious relationship.
She's the founder. She was the creator. She's the reason why when you go to supplement stores, you can get probiotics and everything like that. Natasha Trenovich join us here on Outreach Radio Chicago. Natasha, thank you so much. Please, next time we want to, have you on Outreach Radio Chicago, educate us some more, maybe help us out because of these holiday months. We're going to need it here in Chicago. Maybe the Cubs winning the World Series.
Well, listen, I could just say you are a great host, and all I can say, go Cubs.
Thank you, Natasha. You're a winner forever. Have a good one.
Have a wonderful day. Enjoy.
Thank you, and we'll be right back on Outreach Radio Chicago. A big thank you to Natasha Trenev for joining us on Outreach Radio Chicago. What an absolutely sweet woman. When I had her off the phone, she said, if only people could be as passionate about how we are about our jobs and how Chicago is about its Cubs and its sports teams, it would be a better place. And she's so true. If we only took care of our health and our bodies as much as we love some of our Blackhawks or our Cubs, White Sox, Bulls, Bears, whatever it has it, our TV shows. She's right, because when you look at this, and these holiday seasons are going to come around, guys, and I know personally I'm going to eat tamales and I'm going to have I'm going to enjoy myself, but we have to be conscious, and I think that's the one thing we're learning on the show as we keep going on, that there's a lot of things going on, and we have to be conscious about it, guys. So Natasha Trenovich joining us today. Awesome stuff. Go to the website. That's trynatren.com. That's TRYNATREN.com, or call 800-536-4833 to speak to a probiotic consultant, guys. It's not too late. If you know anybody who has stomach issues, it's not a comfortable subject to talk about, but it's so important, especially in everyday life that we do things, with the flu season, the cold season. Like she said earlier on in the show, it will affect the way we are in this winter, and hopefully we want to make sure we're all here come next summer enjoying it, and we have ourselves nice holiday, not worried about our digestive system. And that'll do it for us here on Outreach Radio Chicago. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please follow me on Twitter. I'm at Mercado2333. You can like the show on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. And if you missed any show, just go to YouTube.com/Mike Mercado 2333, and you can see all of them right there. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you next time on Outreach Radio Chicago. Hav, take us home, buddy.